Teacher and advisor, Jim Wysor. He taught at Norwich High School from 1969 to 2003. Introduced the Code of Conduct for all Norwich High School athletes. He founded Norwich Pep Club and created Spirit Week and Spirit Night. And for those that don't know, Spirit Week and Spirit Night, that is a huge deal in Norwich. All the athletes in the room will remember those days. Pioneered inclusive community athletics, offering free and developmental programs in wrestling, gymnastics, soccer, swimming, and more. A tireless behind-the-scenes supporter of Norwich athletics, always ready to coach, mentor, or assist student and teams. Served for more than 30 years as a recreational coordinator for the city of Norwich, and he's being inducted in 2025. To introduce and present Mr. Wysor tonight is Don Kowalczyk.
I'm here to present Jim Wysor, so you get to hear me again. And I found out this week that it is Spirit Week. And he calculates that it is the 47th this year. Okay? Jim came to Norwich 56 years ago and quickly gained respect from colleagues, students, and supervisors. So when I got an assistant approved after they conned me back into coaching here, because I helped out for 1 year when I moved up from New Jersey after the race riots to date me again in 76 and 77, 56 and 57, right? Anyway, when approval came, I chose him very quickly because he had adapted readily and quickly to the Norwich environment, and he soon became extremely helpful because we were going to compete with the stack teams that were 2 and 3 times our size. I don't think they are now, but they're still bigger than we are. So he was my choice. And our squad size grew very rapidly. We were recruiting evidence, so we could divide into 2 groups. And Jim took the beginners because I found out later on that he had never coached in the sport, that he had never indulged in the sport of wrestling, and he adapted, as I said, very rapidly. And we had a small wrestling room, so we could send some of them to lift the little weights or to run or whatever, and work with the others. Jim's character, skill, and personality were a big boost in those days. If any of you have ever seen or heard about the scores about how our teams were getting pounded by the likes of Vestal, UE, Ithaca, Johnson City, and so on, because of the pool they had to draw from for their athletics. He quickly also got certified to drive a team bus. The team buses back then, I don't know if they still have them, could take 18, I believe, right? Yeah. So we could accommodate the team, a manager, and 2 coaches. Soon we could begin to compete, but we were getting beat up one night at Union Endicott. And even the girls were harassing us when they were crossing behind our bench. And I noticed, I turned around in one of the heavier weights when we went in order, and the bench was practically empty. So I said to Jim, go and get them out of the locker room. They're probably eating, so they don't have to make weight next week. you know. And he went, and pretty soon a couple of them straggled in. And he told me they went into the pool at Union Endicott. And as far as I know, they didn't bring swim trunks. So I only had to imagine what that scene was like. And he got him back there, and that was another occasion that I fondly recall there, that he was very helpful and knew how to handle various situations. But he also started working out with the wrestlers despite his inexperience. And he was working out with a super heavyweight, we called it, 215 to 250 pounds, okay, at that time. And when they were working out pretty intensely, the wrestler headbutted him. And Jim was hurt. And so I asked, I sent him to get help, to get some help. And I asked the wrestler why he did that. He said to set up a double leg takedown, which is not legal, you know, to headbutt. So that setup took 12 stitches, right, Jim? 12 stitches to remedy. It was quite a setup. About the only thing Jim ever questioned me was when he asked me why the officials would threaten him to warn him or to take away a point when he went up to politely, respectfully question them, whereas they didn't for me when I would wave my arms and stomp my feet, and the veins would pop out on my head. And I probably thought, if not said, practice makes perfect, because he was a perfect compliment to me in the way that he dealt with the wrestlers. And he'd probably get even with me, and the stats are all in the program and the article that I wrote, with the help, by the way, of Dave Ring and Sherry Reed to get that article printed. So I will ask him to come up here and do his thing. Jim, congratulations.
So thank you, all of you, for being here tonight. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to have this award presented to me. The first thing I'd like to do is to congratulate our other inductees, Hannah Runyon. And Hannah, I don't know if I might have had you in class as a sub, or it might have been your sister. But anyhow, congratulations to you. Kyle, if you want to stop up here afterwards, I'll tell you a few things about your dad and your Uncle Jamie, because I had them both in class. And I guarantee you these are things that you didn't hear at home. Mike Sutton, congratulations to you. I don't think I ever had you in class, certainly not before I retired, but possibly as a substitute teacher. And also congratulations to members of the 1965 track and field team. Excuse me. I'm not sure how many are here, but I do know John Kalkiski, who is a friend of mine. I know he is here tonight. So on behalf of your whole team, John, congratulations. Please understand inductees that your remarks, your accomplishments are remarkable and are a lasting contribution to our school's athletic legacy. So it's truly an honor to be here with you tonight, an honor I did not see coming. To be honest, I don't think I ever fully realized the impact I had on sports in Norwich, my students, or our community. I just simply did what I love to do, and that's the way I operate. I've always enjoyed the company of students and athletes, teachers and coaches, a community of people who strive to better themselves and who are always willing to lift up one another and their community. Often that happens through competition, but always through good spirit, camaraderie, and a handshake at the end, an acknowledgement that we worked hard together. It may seem counterintuitive that competition, which pits individuals or teams against each other, actually brings us closer. Yet through it, we find respect and admiration for the game, for one another, and for life itself. I've always been here for that spirit, and I thank you sincerely for honoring me, for honoring what to me, has simply been my way of being part of this community. I'm deeply humbled, and I have many people to thank. First, and this won't take a long time, I'd like to thank Don Kowalczyk, who has been a friend of mine for 56 years, and David Ring for the very kind and thoughtful remarks that were published in the Evening Sun back in September. Furthermore, I would also like to thank Don for nominating me for induction into the Hall of Fame, writing a letter of support, and for formally inducting me just a few minutes ago. Additional thanks goes to Anna Schmidt. Now, there are some of you in here that may remember her, but you have to be, well, not as old as me, but close. She taught school here, social studies, from 76 to 80, and she was one of the original faculty advisors to the very first Spirit Night. She also penned a letter of support, a beautiful letter of support for my consideration for induction. A second person that also deserves recognition, and many of you may know this name, is Bob Mason. Now, Bob is a retired police chief here in Norwich, and after his tenure with the police department, he came to work at the City of Norwich Youth Bureau. I had already been there. In fact, I did that for 33 years, and the last 20 years, Bob was my boss. I found that interesting because he was one of my very first students here in Norwich way back when I taught general chemistry. So that was kind of interesting. He's just an absolutely wonderful man. I also want to thank John Kelly. I saw him earlier. I don't know if he's in here tonight or not, but he was one of my first JV wrestlers, and then went on to become my golf partner for upwards of 25 years, and we still are partners today. He sat with Don Kowalczyk for an interview for about 3 hours one afternoon. I don't think it was over tea, but it might have been. And so I thank him for the additional information that may have been important in my being inducted into this Hall of Fame. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank my wife of 55 years, Lynn. She's not a tall person, so I'm going to embarrass you. Could you stand up so everybody can see you?
They already saw me when I gave you your glasses.
So whatever I may have accomplished that allows me to stand here this evening, I share equally with Lynn. She's always had my back, been in my corner, offering support, words of encouragement, a hot meal after a cold day, you name it. Now, here's one example of her support. I don't spend much time on Facebook. I do know what it is, okay? And I do use a cell phone and a computer. But recently, just within the last week, Lynn said to me, I want to show you something. And it was the Evening Sun article that was on Facebook. But she said, look at the comments. There were upwards of 150 comments on Facebook and also as many likes. And as I read them, tears began to form my eyes. The comments ranged from simple congratulations to a short paragraph about how deserving I was, or how much I had helped someone when they were struggling with their academics. One comment, however, stood out, and it said, this is in quotes, a contributor is one who does many things behind the scenes, not seeking notice of the skills and successes in the work involved. I don't know many people who fit this description as well as you do, Mr. Wysor. I think when I read that, maybe I became a believer. That maybe I have done something that really has made a difference. So you don't get here without support of the people around you, and I'm lucky and grateful for Lynn, for unwavering support and love, and for the grace, camaraderie, and encouragement of so many others. I am humbled by this honor and grateful for it. Once again, Don, thank you. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee for this extraordinary honor. Thank you.